Hello and good evening viewers. In this tutorial, I'm going to be doing a selected website item 2 number for S4, and I'm going to be talking about some of the key issues with designing websites at ordinary level and even at other levels of studying. Now, the video is so helpful to S4 candidates, and it is also helpful to learners out there who are studying HTML programming language as a course. So this is the cover photo of the video. The cover photo is looking like this. The cover photo that's going to be available on the video, so that whenever you want to play something regarding echo servers and an online address, this is the cover photo you should be looking for in all my videos I've been doing. Okay, on to the question that I'm going to be doing, on to the sample question that I'm going to be doing in this video. This is the question. The question is going to be available in the description for downloading purposes, and also the support folders are going to be available in the description of the video. Same applies um, to the other numbers that are just like this one, something similar to this. I've done a lot of numbers that are similar to this, so they're also going to be available in the description of this very video. So feel free to navigate the description and see whatever I've been talking about. So it was item 2, and the item 2 was the co-curricular club concerned with caring for the environment in your school wishes to enroll for an international environment clubs competition. The primary goal of the competition is to determine which club has made the most significant impact to its local community. Now, to complete the registration for participation, the club must submit an online address where background information about the club, records of the current and the past activities, and an expansion plan for club membership can be found. However, the club does not have such a tool, but they also don't want to miss on the opportunity. The club president has collected printed photographs of club activities, a copy of the club registration form for new applicants, and other media files included in the support files folder, and he has come to you for assistance. And the task is design a publication which will help the club to successfully complete their registration to participate in the challenge. In this item, some of the key aspects. One appears in the first paragraph that the co-curricular club is concerned with caring for the environment. So we're supposed to do something that is caring for the environment, something that is putting on check what's taking place in the environment. And also another key aspect appeared in the paragraph 2, and it's about submitting an online address. Of course, the club is supposed to be caring for the environment, and in the second paragraph, we're supposed to submit an online address. So, and for us to participate in the environment, for us to have a club participating in the environment, we're supposed to submit an online address, and that is also very important in the item I'm going to be doing. Now, also the background information, the records about the current and the past and the expansion plan should also be talked about in the online address we're going to be designing for submission. And lastly, in the third paragraph, printed photographs are also important in whatever we're going to be designing in this tutorial. And the task is design a publication which will help the club to successfully complete their registration to participate in the challenge. Now, this is my take about this question. First and foremost, this question requires a learner or someone outside there to design an online address. An online address is a website. So the learner or someone interpreting this question should have it in mind that this was an online address that is required to be done. Maybe some confusion was here that design a publication could be confusing, but we should also know that a website is a publication. Yeah, a website is a publication, though for it's just an online publication. A website is a publication, though it is just an online publication. So here, a publication is supposed to be designed to help the club successfully complete their registration to participate in the challenge. So the publication that is supposed to be designed is supposed to be an online publication or a website in this case. So that was the item, that was the question that was required. It's a question I'm going to be doing in this tutorial. Like I've said, the question is going to be having this cover photo I've already opened in the first minute of the video, and it's about EcoSavers, the green machine, a co-curricular club concerned with caring for the environment, and online address to be submitted. So my website is going to be about EcoSavers, and here we are. Now, whenever you're designing an online address, whenever you're designing a website, you need uh, one IDE, a program that can help you design a code to run your website. You also need a search engine to help you run your code. That is one. And as well, some people can use other means of designing websites like Expression Web, like Visual Studio Code, like WordPress, which makes the work kind of easier. I always use HTML in my websites because my videos could be helpful to someone who's studying a course about HTML, even if they're not within the grounds of secondary school. They could be in the grounds of tertiary, etc., etc. But I also recommend people to design websites using Expression Web, using WordPress, and using other programs like VS Code, Notepad++, even Notepad itself as a text editor. Now I'm going to create my folder here, and then I'm going to give it my name so that I start my website designing journey. So this is my folder, and I'm going to just open it. Then after opening it, I'm going to create another subfolder. It is the second item. So I'm going to rename it item 2. Yeah, then I open item 2. I do whatever I want from there. So for the case of the video, I'm going to be using Notepad++ as my text editor to do the website. Now, if your computer has Notepad, if you're using Notepad, the one that's it's the basic thing of Notepad++. It's also okay if you're able to follow along the code I'm going to do. It's okay for you to also use that other notepad. So it's fine for you to use Notepad. It's even fine for you to use Visual Studio Code. So this is it with my Notepad++, and I'm going to straight away design my homepage as I've talked about that it's a website. Now these are the images I want to use in my site. The images are looking like this. So I'll use some images in my website. So these are the images, and this is the major image I want to use because it's having the name of the club I want to be dealing with, that is EcoSavers, etc. etc. This is the form that they've just talked about in the scenario that you should also design a form where applicants can really apply. Now this form is just it's a manual, but we need to design a form in the website which could help people electronically fill their data. So we shall do that in the video. Okay, so this is Notepad++. This is the question. I need it. I also need Notepad++. I can close what I don't need so that I remain with only what I am required. Now, like I said, this video is very important for mostly S4s that are going to sit for their national exams in a few weeks to come. And it's also important for those who are taking on the course of HTML. So if you fall into those grounds, the video is important to you. So I'm going to start with designing my homepage, and then we'll see what should be in your homepage. What can you put in your homepage of a site? Okay, so in the homepage, in my first code, I will open Notepad, or you can open any text editor, and then you type the language we are dealing with. We are dealing with HTML language, and um, yeah, after that, you can open the head tag. You can open the head tag slash head. Yeah, and then after opening the head tag, we put the title tag in the head tag. We know that if you've been doing some notepad, you really know what I am doing. Title, and in the title tag, we can put something like homepage, because the page, of course, it's about the homepage. And then body, you create a body tag, you mind the spellings. In your tags, you're trying to beat 1 hour of designing a website, so you mind the speed. So body, and in the body tag, we're going to type echo savers, because the website is about echo savers. So I've already put something in the body tag. In fact, that is the basic code for HTML. So it looks like that. I can first save this. Let me save this. And then at desktop, I can look for my folder I'm using. So that is the folder I'm using. Then item 2, I can rename it home page .html. You mind the renaming, you don't create space, because if you're creating links, chances are high you may forget that space you have just created while renaming, and your links may not work. So for people who have been working with the HTML language or with HTML environment, you know what I'm talking about. So it's better for you to avoid putting space in something you're trying to rename. So homepage.html, and then here you choose all files or all types. Click save, and then you go to your folder and check whether you have the file you have saved. So in my folder item 2, I have homepage. I can right click at it and I can open it with Chrome, and then I see how things look like. Things look like that, and it's better for you to have your IDE open while you're running something like this. It is better for you to do something really fast and then to save time. So I've already put my heading, and it's about eco savers, though it is not that, it's not that appealing. So I'm going to just change um, something a little bit to have my heading really making some sense. So eco savers, and then in the brackets I can put the green the green machine. Whatever text I want to type in my site, it's coming from someone's creativity, learner's creativity. Your site is about an environmental club. You're doing something about the environment. So it's better for you to type some information that really connects with the environment. The club is about environment. According to what I was reading in the question, the club is about environment, taking care of the environment. So whatever you're going to type is connected to the environment. It is. I'm not saying that each and every question is going to be rotating around the environment. It can be environment, it can be games and sports, it can be a hardware, it can be computers, it can be ICT. So make sure that your website is really communicating what your I mean, what your scenario really required. So this one is about eco savers, and I've already typed eco saver somewhere, and then I've typed the green machine, and then I can continue to edit it. Now I can edit it here before eco savers. I can open a font tag, and then I can close the font tag immediately. Font tag. So at equals at font, I can put font color is equal to. I want my words to be in white. That's why I put white. Put white. Then the font tag can be pushed down. And then uh, anyway, I want the words to be in white, and I also want my work to be in the center. Even around here, I can close the center tag. Yeah. So the IDE I'm using is Notepad++, and it's communicating. It's suggesting alternatives because it's kind of advanced as compared to the normal Notepad that comes along with Windows. So that's why it's providing suggestions when I'm coding. Makes work of a programmer really easier. So center, and then font color is equal to white. I can give it a size of maybe 20. Yeah, let me first save this, Control S, and then I refresh. My white is disappearing within the white. Let me first go back to my Notepad++. I go to the body tag. I give it a biggie color. Biggie color is equal to. I want to give my body a color. I can give it a green color, and then I save. Yeah, so you see that the green really flows with the white. I'm using green because back to the question, I should be designing a site about an environmental club. And whenever we're talking about the environment, the colors that communicate, green comes first. Green is nature, green is the environment. Green is environmental conservation. And when you use a background of green, it's better use colors that move along with green, like white, like gold, like yellow. But don't use colors that don't match with green. Using colors like blue could be something wrong. Using colors like red could be something like wrong. Get. So that is it. EcoSavers, the green machine. The green machine should be pushed. I can put a BR tag to push the green machine to the next line. So that is it. EcoSavers, the green machine. I can straight away put a separator HR there, and then I can save, and then I see what happens at my computer. Okay, the green machine seems it's having a big size. It's like a heading. That may not make sense, of course. It may not have a very big size like your heading. That's why I'm going to slightly change the size of the green machine. Maybe it's what the club is all about. So I want to change the size of the green machine. Maybe it's what the club is all about. Of course, if you want to change the color or the size of the word, just go to the word and give it a font tag, and then you also close it with a font tag and do whatever you want with it. This one, I want to change. Maybe I can decide to change its color to something like gold. Yeah, I can also decide to change its size to either no 20. I can decide to change this to 10, and then I save. I see what happens. Okay, so that is it with the heading. Now, your heading in a site should be really outstanding. Like if you look at my heading right now, the heading is outstanding. It's big. It's having those big letters. It is communicating that the site is about eco-savers. You know, it's in capital and it's in the center of the page. That is better. So your heading should be always outstanding in the site. So that is it with my heading. I'm going to straight away go to something else. In my homepage, I'm trying to design my homepage. I opened some images that I'm supposed to use, and the images are around here. And among these images, I want to use this one here. I can right click at it, I open it with, and then I can choose Firefox or any search engine. After choosing that, I click at its path, click at the path, Control C, code, code. I was at the green machine, and the HR is here. So I want to just the image paste my shortcut there, and then I run. I saw that my image is really uh yeah, it is showing up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go here at the end of the image code here, and then I put height. Just mind the spelling side. When I'm doing HTML, I normally use a height of 100 and a width of 100. Save that and open this, refresh. Since my image is disappearing, let me go back to the code. Height is equal to 100, width is equal to 100. Delete it. I think it was like this. Height is equal to 100. Width is equal to, in quotes, 100. Okay, so that's the image size. But again, if you want to adjust the image size, like if you see the image is really small, you can just go back to the height and width and see whether you can adjust the height and width from there. I prefer using 100 and 100, both height and width. Well, if you don't want that, you can even stop at the image code. If at all the image really fits into your website and there's nothing like a very big image that's creating that poor impression. So that is the image of the site and it's appearing in the homepage. So still, I'm continuing to design my homepage about EcoSavers. So if I'm designing my homepage for learners now, if you're really trying to beat up, the 1 hour of doing one item, this is what you do in your homepage. You straight away create your links. A homepage is very important for you. It's very important if it is having the links that are really working. So before you even include anything else in the homepage, you can decide to put the links there. So I can straight away push to links. I can type something like navigate our site with our links our site with the links below. Yeah. Then of course you type. I'm going to type some text that can work as links. Now, depends on what you want to do. The links of a page, it goes back to the question. I'm going to use links. I'm going to design pages using the information here. The first page could be a background information. Another one could be records about the current and the past. That's another page. Another page can be expansion plan for the club. Those are different pages in my site. One talking about background, another talking about record of the current and the past, another one is talking about expansion plans. I'm using paragraph 2 to come up with my different pages I want to have in my site. So even here, I want to type something like this. Background. Because background is the first hook, it's the first page. Then another one is records about records about current and past. Another one can be another page I'm planning to do is expansion plan. And then lastly, another one I'm planning to do is um, feedback page. Those are the various links I'm going to have in my site. Save this first and then I see what happens at my search engine. So if I refresh this, that happens. So it's not creating that good impression I may want. That's why I want to just go back to the code and then I do some simple changes. One, the first change I'm going to make is about navigate our site to the links below. That's a sentence that's it should be separate. So I want to just make it like that. And then even here at my links, I'm going to just break them. So I save that and then I see what happens at my search engine. So navigate site the links below. Yeah. So someone is supposed to use the links below to navigate our site. Now the links that are here they're not yet working. They are just in text form because we have not made them links. So yeah, I'm going to do the links now. I'm going to just head back to my IDE and then I just create my links. So straight to the links, I'm going to just go to this, navigate our site using the links below. I can give it a font I want. I can give it a font I may want. Yeah, font. I close the font. Font color is equal to, I can decide to give it gold as well. Gold flows with the green background. And then size is equal to, I can decide to give it something like 6 or 7. I see what happens. I save, and then I go back to this. I see what happens with my computer. Since the size is not changing, did I give it 7? Okay, navigate our site using the links below. So that is it. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to design a home page, how a home page is supposed to be looking like. So the home page is supposed to be having, of course, the title, which is outstanding, a big title. It's supposed to have, maybe an image about your website, and it's supposed to have links that are taking users to other pages. So the title should have that. So I'm going to continue with the links. Back to the back to the links. They're going to work like this. So fonts. I was here at the links. I think this was font color is equal to gold, size equal to 7. Navigate our site to the links below. Okay. So before I make my text links, this is what I do if I make my text links. Now, of course, my homepage is supposed to have links like I was saying. And also, it can also have a separator. It's supposed to have a separator at the very bottom. So it's better for you to put a separator there, HR, and of course, the separator is going to have something in your footer section Always in the footer section, one can decide to put their maybe phone numbers of the designer, the address of some of that person who designed the website in form of a MAQ maybe. So I can type something like designed by uh, maybe BMMK publishers. BMMK publishers contact us 0707480701. You can even put other information like an email. Email us on bmmk bmmk at gmail.com. Yeah, something to appear in the footer section of the site. It is important. MAQ, you can put a MAQ there, and even you can close a MAQ from here. So save and run your your Chrome or your search engine. So it's running and it's in form of a MAQ, and that is the site we are trying to do. And it's a note you're supposed to put down that the home page, the heading should be outstanding, should have at least an image and links. Also, a MAQ talking about the designer of the website in the footer section of your web page. So that is it with a MAQ in the home page, but since I'm not comfortable with with the text size, text is almost the same size of the heading. I'm not comfortable with that. So let me first go back to my IDE, and then I see what's wrong with the text. This was a font here. Font that was covering. Was it covering the? I think it was covering the heading. Echo Savers. Yeah, it was covering the heading. I can paste it there at the heading. Uh, Background record. What? Navigate. Navigate. Is it navigate? Navigate our site. Yeah, that one. Before we go to navigate, what else is there? Background record for the current and the past. Font closed. Font. Anyway, okay. Let us continue with this. Now, this is it. That navigate our site to the links below. You can decide to even underline that if at all you want. Navigate. Yeah, I can decide to underline it with the U tag, and even here I can decide to underline it with the U tag. Save it, and then you see what happens with our heading navigate our site to the links below. So I'm going to straight away go to the links. This is so important to those people who are designing websites with HTML, uh, coding everything from scratch. This one is so important. So now if you designed your homepage like how you see mine, you're supposed to quickly design other 3 pages so that you can save time in whatever you're doing. Now, if because I already have my site here, my homepage, it's already here. What I do is going to just go back to my folder. This is my folder I'm using, and this is item 2 right here. This is item 2, and this is the home page. I can decide to copy this, copy the home page, copy it and paste. So that you have home page copy. Yeah, just straight away rename this, rename. rename it. Now, according to my plan, my second site is about it's supposed to have records. I can rename it second page, and then it's going to have second page, then records dot html. Or I could just leave the dot html because I already did everything with the home page. I can rename it second page records. Yeah, continue the process. Paste again, Control V. Third page, rename it according to what I want to do. The third page is going to have the other one was records. This one is going to have expansion. So I can rename this. Don't mix letters. If you mix capital and small letters, you could find problems with linking. So it's better use small letters throughout. It's better you don't put space there. Third page, and then I can put expansion because that page is going to be about expansion. Paste again, Control V. The last page will be about feedback. So I want to rename it fourth fourth page. Then I type feed. Stop at feed if at all I could recall the renaming. Now, after doing that, of course, I've been copying the three pages from the home page, so chances are high that the information in the three pages is just similar to the information in the home page. So navigate our site with the links below to just go to my IDE and then I just put links at the pages I've proposed. So here at background, I'm going to type a link tag uh, ahref. I can close it immediately from, of course, the background again. I put a slash and a, and here at ahref I put equals, then in the quotes I put um, the name of my home page because background is supposed to be the home page. So I want to put the name I used at the home page, the exact name. That's why I was saying that renaming you should be renaming your work in a very keen way. So the home page I've renamed it home page, just home page. So even at my IDE, I want to put home page dot html because I want that link to take me page homepage.html. So I can save this and then I run and then I see whether it's turning into what I want. Yeah, indeed it's turning what into what I want. So after putting the link and it works at the first page, save time, just highlight your code. Yeah, you save time, Ctrl C and paste it at the second page. Just change the name of the um, just change the name of the page. So the second page, I think I renamed it second. I renamed it second page. Then I put records, yeah, dot html, and then I close it from here slash a. Same applies to expansion. Paste, put a cursor there, paste, and then just change the renaming. This one I renamed it third page. Third page, then expansion. Expansion.html, then we close it from here. Yeah, then the last one, just paste the other link code that worked at the first page. So the first one is, I mean the last one is fourth. Was it the renaming? fourth um, Fourth page, then feed. Fourth page, feed.html, and then you close it. You close the HTML tag. slash a. Yes, we see how our computer is going to react to that. So if you click at background, that's the page. Records, that's the page, though we don't put some information there. Then expansion, is it? Yeah, that's the page. So if we put our links in all the pages, I mean, like what I've done here I've put the links from the home page, the second page, the third page, and the expansion plan page. If you put the links there, please you save time and just copy the codes to the other, to the other um, pages. This is an example. Now I've done links in the home page. I'm not supposed to go to other pages and then I do the links there. Not really. I'm supposed to go and paste the codes to other pages so that I'm faster. So I can just right click at the home page here and then I can open it with Notepad plus plus. Yeah, I can even right click at the third page, just open it with Notepad plus plus, and then I can right click at the fourth page and open it with Notepad plus plus. So at my screen I have the home page, I have the code of the second page, the code of the third page, and the code of the fourth page. Yeah, I have all the codes there, and I want to just do something like editing the code and then running in Chrome, and then I see whether things will really work. For people using Notepad, some learners using Notepad, the basic Notepad that comes with Windows, its environment is not that advanced like how you're seeing mine. The environment of that Notepad that comes along with Windows is not that advanced like how you're seeing mine. You'll just be required to open each code with Notepad separately and then do whatever I want to do. Maybe if you're having Notepad++, you can follow along the tutorial. So this is the home page and it's looking like this when I run my code. And then this is the second page, third page, fourth page, etc. etc. I want to go to the home page and I want to just copy the links from here, the link from the first page up to the last page. I want to copy all of them to save on the time. So you copy all the links. They're supposed to be four because I've planned on 4 pages. Copy them, Control C, go to the second page and highlight. Of course, I want it to go around here. Highlight, paste, Control V. Even the third page, the links are supposed to go here. Highlight, paste. Fourth page, highlight, paste. Yeah, save here, Control S, click here, save here, Control S, click here, save here, Control S. And then you go to our Chrome and see what happens. If I click at the background, that is it. Records, seems record is having an issue. And then what else? Expansion, working, feedback, working. There's an issue with records because if I click at records, it's not taking me anywhere. So I have to go back to my IDE and then I check what's up with the second page. This is spelling mistake I made. I missed the letter D. So the letter D is going to affect all the links I've been copying. This is second page. I missed the D. Yeah, and even I think the third. Have I changed the third? Not really. D. What else? Even fourth. D. Control S. Control S. Control S. And Control S. I want to go back to my Chrome. I run. I see whether it works now. Yeah, it works. Background records, expansion and feedback. Yeah, so my links all work. And for practice purposes, try to rewind the video and see what I've been doing there. So that is it with the link. So if a learner at Ernest for class, if you're able to design a home page and it's linking and all your pages are linking, it means you're almost there, you're halfway there. You're supposed to just go to other pages and put content there. Yeah, I'm going to start with the home page. My IDE is here and the home page is also right here. We'll type some information in the home page and it can be just about maybe the club and it's just at the bottom of the image somewhere here. I can type something that's about the club that Echo Savers was founded to promote. This is just about learners' creativity to promote sustainable living and protect natural resources. Break that. Our environment group is dedicated to raising awareness, restoring ecosystems, and advocating for policies. We bring together passionate videos and communities to take action um, on climate change. Yeah, reduce pollution, conserve biodiversity, and promote renewable energy solution. Promote energy solution. Then through education, outreach and hands-on, outreach and hands-on projects, we aim projects we aim to build a healthier and greener future. Build a healthier and greener future. Yeah, so that's some information I'm having for the homepage. That's the information I'm having for the homepage. And like I said, it's up to a learner's creativity to come up with some information in the homepage because in most cases we are not given information to type in a home page or in a page. Maybe if we have given you some information to type in a page, the better. But in most cases, information is not given to you. It goes back to your creativity as an individual. So that's some information I've come up with the home page. So I can break this to save time. I can create one break tag like this. And then I highlight it and I just keep on pasting to just save the time of typing. I'm just pasting it there to save on the typing time. Yeah, even at the heading here, before the heading, I have some information to put there, and the information can go just on top of my site. It can be electronic sites designed for core, designed for core curricular, designed for core curricular club concerned with concerned with caring for the environment. Yeah. Some information I want I want it to be visible in the home page. So I can save, I see what happens at my IDE at the home page. This is it. Yeah. So this is happening at my IDE, and like I said, white color is always just give my text a white color. So I can decide to put a font tag, fonts, can decide to close it from here so that my text has that color is equal to white flows better. So yeah, that could be my homepage. It's having some information about eco savers, and the links are really there. They're working and therefore they're working and they're pushing us to all the pages. So what you do is just go to your IDE and edit data there. The home page, it's done. Now I want to just go to the second page. I put my data there. Now the second page, of course, my pages are the same because I was copying the home page and I was pasting it multiple times. This is the home page and this is the second page. You see? So the second page is just waiting for data to be entered there so that it can also have some scores assigned to it in case you are being marked in a paper. You can also decide to underline your headings if you want. In your website, it is just better. You can decide to put more images. It is better, provided you're not overdoing it. Now, at the second page, according to the links, the second page is supposed to have records about the current and the past. Yeah. So the second page is going to have the records about the current and the past. So I'm going to go back to my IDE in the second page code. If you're using the normal notepad, you can go to the second code. Remember, you have already renamed it and it's already there in your folder. You can open it with Notepad and then you do what I'm going to do. So at the bottom of the image, I think the image is going to, I think it appears here. Yeah, so at the bottom, I can type something like records about the present. The second page is supposed to have records about the present and the past. But I want to start with records about the present. So records about the present, I can type something like Echo Savers is a green company. Like I'm saying, this information is generated from a learner's creativity. I'm typing data about environmental conservation because even the question was pushing me to design an online address about caring for the environment so that I can participate in that competition. That is why whatever I'm doing is rotating around environmental conservation, or something to do with green environment. So EcoSavers is a green company. EcoSavers is a green company. In brackets, I can put machine. Yeah, that is about creating. That's about creating environmental awareness. It's about creating environmental awareness to bring proper, bring about proper environmental management. So, EcoSavers are currently, because the information is about records of the present, so I said EcoSavers currently, in brackets, data as mid September 2025 involves five communities in day-to-day activities, over five communities in day-to-day activities. Stop, and then here I can put something like you can you can as well view, should I put it like that? You can as well view our you can as well view our background uh, after clicking here. But after someone clicking there, they can view, yeah, they can view the background about the company. Remember, I've typed some background in the home page, so I can just link to the home page. I just renamed it home page.html. Yeah, and I can even close it from there. So records, it is should be broken. Save time. Copy this. Click here. Paste. Click here. Paste. Here. Paste. I want my words to be in white. White. Font color is equal to white, and here at is it, yeah, click here. Activities. Fonts. I save it and run my second page. I see what happens. Now that happens at my second page. Remember, my first page was here. It's talking about the background of the company, and when someone clicks at records about the current and the past, they're going to land at the second page. And this is the link I've just inserted in the second page, that you can as well view our background after clicking here. So if someone clicks there, they can go back to the first page. In fact, if someone wants to click back the second page, they can click at records so that you can get them loaded to the second page. Now, Notepad++ is an easier to deal with IDE. You can deal with it in an easier way if you've been doing Notepad, if you've been using the normal Notepad. This one is going to be very much easy for you to use. It's just advanced. So the second page is here, and I've already typed some information about the records, about the present. Now I'm going to type something about records concerning the past. As here, I can type something like records about past. Um, records about the past because the first one, if you look at the second page, the records about the present, it's already there. I'm just heading to records about the past. Because the page is supposed to talk about records about the current and the past. So I'm also resorting to records about the past. About the past, I want to bring in another object in a website. Remember, if you're doing a website in an exam, you're doing a website for practice purposes, a website should at least have almost all the features that you've been studying in websites like font, colors, styles, images, marquees, tables, forms, etc., etc., for you to earn a lot. So it's just about your creativity while incorporating or adding in a lot of features in a website. So records about the past, I want to type something like the data about eco savers experience form in table format or in tabular form for the best experience. Best experience, yeah. And then it's when I'm going to bring in my table to explain the records concerning the past. So the table is going to be designed by introducing a table tag, table. Then after introducing the table tag, I close the table tag immediately. So after opening the table tag, I give it a table border of equals to. So table border is equal to, I can use a 5 there. And then uh, I can put some information in my table. So not forgetting, I can decide to break this and I can decide to also break this. I save, I see what happens at my search engine. Seems things are overpacked here. Records about the past, it is overpacked. I can decide to use a P because a P is a paragraph. It can separate with some ample space. Um, then I can decide to extend my white color. I recall giving this white. I can extend my white color, the font, and then I can put it. Of course, yeah, and then I save. I see whether my information flows. Yeah, that is it. Data about EcoSaver's past experience has been arranged in tabular form for the best experience. Now, for the table, a table is another object in a website, and the table should not miss out in your site. A table is very important when you're designing a website. The video is about enlightening you learner or someone else designing a site about some of the features you can put in a site. I started with the home page and I talked about some of the parts of the home page, what you're supposed to do after designing a home page. You create your links first before putting the data in the rest of the pages. So that you do something really quickly. For learners, if you're designing a home page and you're putting links in a home page, what I started with in the video, make sure that you can do that in less than 30 minutes so that you can go to other pages and feed in that other data there. Table border has already been introduced, so I want to go to some other table component that's called um, a table row. Yeah, table row, table header. My first table header is going to be echo savers. Yeah, of your work. That is the first table header. Another table header is going to be, you don't mind about the case, the capital or small letters in the tags. That is okay. So another table header is going to be activities. Yeah, then another table header is going to be, this was activities done. Another table header can be number of communities involved. The last one, number of communities involved. See what happens at our Chrome if at all we refresh. So the table is being designed in our Chrome and it's having a table row and some table headers as indicated. So we're going to continue with the table data. I want to go to table data. For people who have been studying HTML all along, you know what I'm trying to explain here. Table row, we're going to another table row, then table data. Yeah, so the first table data is going to be 2020. Another table data is going to be environmental awareness. Environmental awareness, and another table data, the last one in this row is going to be 5 communities involved. Involved. I.e. but a few. Save. And then if you're not sure of your code, you can run and see whether your table is really changing. But if you're sure, you can decide to type all the table rows, yeah, and all the table data, trying to show what you've been doing in the past. You started in 2020, now you're heading 2021. What have you been doing in 2021? Remember, you're trying to explain your your environmental club, EcoSavers, and you're showing what you've been doing in the past years. And at the question, it was about you showing what you've been doing, for the environment, the record to the current and the past, etc. etc. So it's what I'm trying to do here on the second page. So another table data is environmental awareness and restoring ecosystems. Environmental awareness and restoring ecosystems. In another table data, the last one is it is involved. Involved. Row and table data. The year is 2022 and the table data is for eco-friendly policies. For eco-friendly policies. Then another table data is going to be 5 involved, a lot of communities, 5 communities involved. So you can save that and see what happens to our table. Seems our table has really shaped. This is the second page we can have at our site of EcoServers. You should mind the blue colors that are not appearing because I think they are links, but your work should be visible. It should be properly seen. This is the first page. The second page is here. See, if you're designing a site, make sure that you're running through your pages and it's seeing whether things are running. So the third page, we are heading to the third page because I had a plan of doing the third page talking about the expansion of Eco Savers Club. So if I click on the expansion Eco Savers Club, it's empty, but we're going to just put some content there in our third page. It's going to have the expansion plan of the club. It's also going to have a form where someone interested can fill some information because somewhere here in the support files of the question, I think around around the support files, I saw some form here. And if you're designing a website, it's better you make this form um, electronic instead of a form looking like this. Yeah, it should be electronic. We shall do that in the third page. So boom, straight away to the third page. The third page is here. This is the code for the third page, and the data so far in our third page is there. Remember, and copied that from the home page. We're going to just add in the data we need at the third page. So the image is here, so I'm going to straight away go the image. I put heading our expansion plan explained here because it's about expansion. Our expansion plan explained here. Yeah, explained here. So you can put some information trying to explain what our plans are for EcoSavers. The first one is involving more individuals, involving more individuals and communities. In the activities we do, we shall make we shall make this happen through we shall make this happen through awareness, social media, and our website we developed, and our site we have developed. Yeah, and then I can just copy the BR. I don't know whether it's still in the memory. I can just copy the BR. Not really, it is not. I can write BR, then I just highlight it, copy, paste here, and then paste here, save, and run Chrome. Yeah, seems it's overpacked the image, so if it's acting like so, you can use a P to create a paragraph instead. So that is it. I can maybe just go to the fonts. I can give it a font color which is white, and then I can close it around here near developed. Save, and then you see what happens at Chrome. Yeah, so that is the expansion plan. We want to involve in more people in the club eco servers. So we can explain that by images. We want to involve in more people. We can use this image. I can right click at it, select open with, and then I choose Firefox. Copy the link, click at the link, copy it, go back to your code and paste the image there. Yeah, put the image tag img source is equal to right in the source paste, and it should be broken. Sorry, BR and save. You see whether the image is going to run under your explanation. It is running there, but it is very big, and if the image is so big and it's covering the text, the site could look funny. So simply go back to the code of the image and give it a height. Uh, like I said earlier on, I prefer 100 height. Then width, I also prefer 100. Control S, just mind the spellings and then run and see whether the image is going to be of the size you really want. I continue to another expansion plan that I have for the club. Now, when you're doing all this in a paper, you mind to save to use Control S on your computer keyboard. Maybe if you're using a laptop, the better. But if you're using a computer desktop, it is better you always save at least every after 2 minutes because I believe in 2 minutes you've done a lot on the computer. So I've put the image and then I want to head to something else that is another plan I have. There's another plan I have that is coming up with a green machine coming up with a green machine. Yeah, uh, it can also mean team. And then I write the team shall explore. The team shall explore the 5 communities, because so far we are involving 5 communities. Shall explore the 5 communities while spreading environmental environmental awareness. Yeah, and then we can look for the image once again. The image we can use to show the team trying to explore. I can go with this. Right click at this, select open with Firefox, copy the path, and you go back to your code, design the image uh, code and paste it there. Just give it a height is equal to 100 and the width is equal to 100. I prefer 100 like I've said earlier on. Now this is it coming up. The BR, and then also I think it is already in the clipboard. Not really. I can copy it. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl S. Okay. I see how things are shaping up in my site. Yeah, it's just the font, the color. I want my all my words to be white. I can copy this closing font tag and then I put it somewhere that's covering all the words. I think I can put it here. Ctrl S, and then my words are going to be in white. It's what I want. So this is it with is it our expansion. Our expansion, the image is there, and then a machine. We can have. Is it a green machine team? And I've already put an image there. I have a lot of images. Depends on the time you're having in the paper. You can decide to put your images there if you really want. So this is it. I can decide to also copy this image. I open it with uh, Firefox and then I copy and paste it in my code. Now I think this was the last image I've inserted. I can decide to also insert another image here. I can open the source code, image source code, paste, and then just change the height to 100, yeah, and width to 100. Control S. I may not break that. Let me first see how it's going to behave. I may not break that image. I can refresh. Yeah, I can go with that image that's on the same line. So, like I said, in the third page, we're supposed to have a form that's enabling someone to register. What I'm doing is I'm doing a lot of things that are involved in a site, and the video is important to S4 learners before doing your national exams. Try to see what is done in a site. How do I design the homepage first? How do I link the homepage to the rest of the pages? And how do I deal with coding while while refreshing Chrome? How do I deal with that? How do I deal with the Notepad++ environment? etc, etc. It's what I'm trying to do in this tutorial. It is kind of lengthy, but I'm really trying to explain what you do in a site. I believe this is one of the last video that's going to be done about website in this year at the S4 level. So I'm going to design a form now, and I decided that before I design a form, I can I can just put a separator. I can put a separator. I can decide to put the HR separator so that I design a form and it is really separated from the content. So those are some of the expansion plans I have. I decided to put, but I'm going to just straight away kick into a form now. A form can also have a heading, club, um, registration form, and I can put a name. Remember, I've opened it already. We are provided with a form in the support files of this paper. I'll attach the image as well in the video description, but I'm trying to do something like this. So the form I'm going to be designing is looking like it's having something like that. So that is it with the form. As I go back to my text editor, that name, and then I put club registration form. I can decide to open a form tag, and then I close a form tag so that I get my form getting done immediately. So name, input, type, that's another code you studied while you were learning how to design websites. Input type is equal to text, and name is equal to name again. I'm trying to do name. I can save this and then I see what happens at my site. Yeah, club registration form. I think I forgot something so important before the HR. I can type something like uh, wannabe wanna be part of us. You're asking someone, wanna be part of us? If so, fill the form below and submit. And submit after confirmation. Yeah, fill the form below and submit after confirmation. So I can just run this, and then anyway, I just required to break this, and then the we run the form. Wanna be part of us? Fill the form below and submit. wanna be part of us? Fill the form below. Fill the form below. Okay, so that is it with the form I'm doing right now. So name, it could be on, I can decide to put, is it a P, so that there's some space between the name and the heading club registration form if I run. So name, I want to also go to class to save time. I've been talking about saving time. If you're heading to another category, someone can feel like class. Yeah. What you do is this, just copy this and then you paste it, Control C, and then paste it here. Input type text name, change that maybe to class. Yeah, save that. This one is a BR. So after class, we had sex, and sex is having an input type is equal to radio, because it's a radio button. For sex, it's a radio button. Input type is equal to radio. Then after typing radio, I can put something like female. Yeah, and then I can first save and see how my machine is behaving after all this. Name radio female. Um, it's name and then class. Let me use a P. A P could have a proper arrangement of a form. Name is equal to radio, then here it's also a P, and input type is equal to radio. Female, I can repeat this again, that input type is equal to radio. Then this one is now male. We can save and see how things are going to shape up. Our form can also have an email. Someone can have an email at a form. Someone can submit the email, like I said, save time, copy input type, Ctrl C, and then you paste input type is equal to text, name is equal to email. So save that. Next up was areas of interest. Yeah, someone is going to put areas of interest. Areas of interest, tick in brackets, that is tick, tick up to 2. Yeah, tick up to 2. And then these ones are also radio buttons. They are also radio buttons. It is backyard. Like I said, I'm copying the form here. Backyard farming. It's in the support folders. Backyard farming market gardening is the first one. Yeah. Another one is horticulture. Horticulture. Another one, conserving environment. Conserving environment. Another one is recycling and eco-save projects. Recycling and eco-save projects. Yeah, so those are some of the areas where someone can tick, and they were also in the form of a radio button. So I can just copy this input type, save time. If you've done something and it is running, it's better you copy it. I paste input type is equal to radio. Even here, input type is equal to radio. Same applies to this. Input type is equal to radio, and also this input type is equal to radio. So the BR, I've talked of that also previously. Just copy it to save time. Email can have a BR. Then even areas of interest can have a BR. This one can be a BR. You want to break the various lines. And then even this one can be a BR. Same applies to this BR. And then this BR. And then you can save and see how things are going to shape up in your site. So that is it with radios. They're all working, and it's a form that can be filled by people in EcoSavers. Remember, they can fill that form to join you in your club. So I can conclude the third page with information, with a commitment. So I'm supposed to also put a commitment that I so and so, or I and put something like yeah, I can leave some space, or I can highlight input type is equal to text name. I can highlight this and then I paste it here. Where someone can type a name, pledge, pledge to attend all club activities and observe all club relegations. Observe all club, regulations, not relegations, regulations. Yeah, and of course, at the next line, there was sign. Yeah, and even at sign, you can put that. When there was date, and even at date, we can put an input type is equal to text. This one can be broken. Yeah, and also this line can be broken. So that is it with my form. If I can save it at the third code, I can really have something that is returned at the form. Club registration, this one here, it can be underlined to show that it's a heading and it's where our form begins. So I can underline that and then I see what to do next. Okay, so that is the form with third page, and then lastly, I want to head to the very last page of the site before I briefly talk about the form once again. So the site should also have a form. That is so important in a site. You should have a form, even if you've not been asked whether to put a form or not. There are some um, there are some features that are so important in a site, like a form, like a table, like a marquee, like colors. So important in a form. In a site. Now, at the fourth site, it's just about feedback. It's just briefly talk about the feedback. So the fourth site is right here. We're going to just put something regarding a feedback, and we see whether we can have it done. Okay. Now the fourth side, the fourth page in this video where I'm having a lot of breaks. So endeavor to also, while you're doing this, you can break and then relax a bit and then you continue with the video because it's kind of a lengthy tutorial I've uploaded about websites. So, like I was saying, that at the fourth site, we're going to have a feature where someone can just provide a small feedback. Now, this is the fourth page, and after the image, we're going to create some information that our fourth web page deals with, fourth page deals with interacting with users to provide us with the best feedback required for the best experience. So, fill the electronic space below on how you find our website in not more than 200 words and more than not more than 200. Yeah, so our site interacting with users to provide us with feedback. Yeah, then so fill in that information. Okay, so this is a font, and then this is also a font that is maybe I want at my last page. Font color, I can decide to give this a gold color. Then I can decide to maybe break. Breaking is so important. You should have separate lines in a site that are broken. Then yeah, I can save this and then I refresh and see whether my words are going to be returned. Yeah, they are returned and they're in gold. Gold can flow with with uh, with green, the green background. Back to the code. It's here in not more than 200 words. So at the bottom here, you can put a text area. You can open it and you can also close it. Text area. Rows is equal to 5. Calls is equal to 15. In here, how do you find echo savers? Question mark. I can first save this and see what happens at my search engine. Now, how do you find echo saver? Seems it's not doing what I want. Let me first go back to my code. Text area, is it? Text area. What's up with my code? Text area. Then, yeah. So text area, how do you find echo savers? It's going to be also broken to the next line. Text area, VR, Control S, and then you run and see whether it is really shaping up. So that is it with the text area page, and it's the very last page of our site. Now, the very last page can, of course, be a feedback page. Just like the first page, it can be a home page in most cases. Even the very last page, it's about maybe feedback. Someone can type something about your site that not bad. They can comment about your site there. Yeah. So that is it with the last page, the fourth page, having a text area feature. It's also important in websites. So back to my form, the very last part of the video, I've been talking about a lot in this tutorial, and it is better for you to do this. You can set a target as a class, as teachers. You can look through the various websites that you find on internet, the websites I do. You set a target that you're going to be doing this website this week, and then by the end of the week, you've done almost everything I've been doing in the video tutorial. It will be so helpful to a learner out there in a school. So just like what I've been doing from the start, from the home page, I've been doing really a lot from the home page. From the next page, we could support the club, from the expansion plan, etc., etc., and then from the feedback page. All that is so important to teachers and learners out there in schools. So this is it with the fourth page. As I'm heading to the third page, I missed something small there. Whenever you're doing your forms, it's better for you to put a submit and a reset button. Those two buttons are so important in whichever forms you do. Now take an example of a form here. There's a simple form I want to share with you, a simple form I want to share with you here. Now, like this one here, in this form, I think I've ever done something like this on the internet. It's having a submit and reset button. Those buttons are so important in a form, and they should be included in a form as well, and they appear as the last results of the form. So they're just um, two buttons. One is a button of submit and a button of reset. Now, even in my form here, more so in the third page, right here, I can decide to put the two codes of the buttons. Input type is a submit, and name is equal to submit, a value is submit. Same applies to reset. I save that and I see whether my Chrome is going to react to it. If I open it from here, I'm able to see that in the third page, my Chrome is able to react to it. So submit and reset, though they should be slightly pushed to the next line, I can decide to break them to the next line. So I can save and then I can refresh. I see whether the two really work. So submit and reset, they're really working, and I'm sure it can work with a P, and I can even enclose my form in another HR tag and then I save. So under this, that is how my form is going to shape up. And the form is about a call, save as. So it has been very, very, very it's been a very long tutorial. It's been a very long tutorial from the start because I've been trying to explain right from the home page how a learner should attempt right from the home page, that the home page should have the title outstanding and the image, some background information, the links, and should be connecting to all other pages. This is my second page I proposed about the records of the present and the past, and also the third page is having the expansion of the club. I talked about how we can expand the club, and even I incorporated the form there and submit reset buttons. And the feedback page, I've been talking about the feedback that can be provided by users of the site. Now, after doing all that, you can decide to close whatever you've been doing with your site. So it's what I'm doing. I'm closing almost everything on my computer apart from the recording software I'm using. So I want to close everything on my computer so that we see what to do with the site in the end. Now, if this is my site, I've done everything at the site. I want to just click at the home page. I open it with Chrome, Control P, because you're supposed to print your site. If you're having a colored printer, the better. If you're having a black and white printer, it's okay. You can print your site with that. Now my printer is not supporting the green. It's okay. I can print it. I can command a print so that I print my page. So applies the second page. Control P. I can also print it. It's going to look like that. I command a print at that uh, printer. Even the expansion plan. Control P. I can decide to print my expansion plan site from there. And lastly, I can also print feedback. Control P. I print my feedback page from there. You can decide to attach the code you've been using for your site. If at all you've used a Notepad++ or a Notepad or a Visual Studio code, you can decide to attach your code. For my case, I can just open Notepad++ and then yeah, it will show up with my codes. This is the home page. Control P. You print that code. If at all the app doesn't support that, it's fine. You can have your page that's running printed good enough. It could be loaded on the CD and it can be viewed on the CD. But in most cases, if you've used um, Notepad, the normal Notepad, you can decide to print your codes if you want. So you can open it with Notepad, that is the home page, and then that is my code for the home page. Control P, then you print your code, etc, etc. But mostly, it is very important for you to print the website that is running, like how I have just explained in the previous 2 minutes or one. So that is it with what I wanted to share with you concerning website. This is the very last video about web design in S4. So it is very important for learners to watch and do whatever I've been doing in this tutorial for the best. So like I said, in the end, a learner is expected to have at least 4 pages running and all connecting to one another with at least various website features. Like this is my first page, having colors, having images, links, and marquees. The second page, you see, it's having colors, tables, links, marquees. I can even go back to the first page. That is so important. You don't click at the second page and you use arrows to go back to the first page. So it is better your links are just here within your pages. So this is the second one. This is the expansion. So they are all fine and running. And lastly, this is the feedback. So that is it with what I wanted to share with you today. This video is important to those people who are going to sit for S4 and you're going to do websites. And then those people outside there who are learners who are pursuing HTML language, the video is also important to you equally as well. So that is it with the tutorial I wanted to share with you. A good evening and bye bye.